So this session will be on the topic of stupid job interview questions. Now, I know that right now this might sound to you like, what the hell do you mean with that? So I will tell you this. For me, stupid job interview questions are the one who do not fit the values of the type of company, the type of job that I want to be in. So why I say stupid, because imagine that right now yourself, you're on a job interview, and the person who is interviewing her, no matter if it is a recruiter or if it is your potential manager, if this person asks you a question and you get this feeling of like, why would you ask me this question? You know, you don't see the relevancy. For me, to be honest, stupid job interview questions are all the questions I shared with you in the previous videos. For me, they are stupid. They are not aligned with my values of how I would interview people as recruiters. For me, those questions tell you nothing about a person, yet people still ask them. Now, to make you understand exactly what I mean, I'm going to share a story from my life about where I was exactly in this place where I felt like the person asking me stupid job interview questions. So I was deciding to apply for an agency, to become a career coach for an agency. It is some time ago, and I found this agency that actually I kind of liked the way how they were showing up online. I was thinking, I think I could stand behind what they're doing. Now, I was told that I would first do certain tests, and after finishing those tests, I will actually speak to the person who would at the beginning be my career coach and help me to launch my career through their agency. So I was like, okay, cool. But what happened was that I first had to do my test about English skills, my test of German skills. Then I was doing personality tests, actually really good. It was from Gallup Institute. That was really good. Then I was told, because they were doing the German and English test through Google Docs. So then I was told that neither of those tests was saved. So I had to redo both of them. And afterwards, I also, after the personality test, I also did test of, I think how did they call it? Oh yeah, it was a motivation test. So, and then they said to me afterwards, after finishing all of these tests, you can imagine how many hours it takes. Then they told me that based on my results, if I am 70% match to the job, then the career coach would tell me in the moment and they would continue with me. If I'm not that match, I am not going to continue throughout the process. I was like, okay, let's do it. Honestly, there's not many agencies like that, so I was thinking, I'm gonna give it a try, let's see. So I did all of those tests. Again, I cannot even express to you how many hours all of this took. And then the last meeting was actually the first time after all of these tests that I ever spoken to a human being. There was no phone call, there was no Zoom video call, no meeting in person. All of this was through their assistant via email. And then I was supposed to speak directly with the coach, who would be the person who would be assigned directly to me then when I would be actually starting with them. And this woman was someone who is the extreme opposite of me. I don't consider myself as a person who is extremely data-driven. I would consider myself creative. I think you can get my vibe from how you are following this course. And maybe you don't like me, maybe you don't like my approach. But this is my approach. This is who I am. I like to concentrate on mindset. I'm not going to tell you this is the right answer, you need to answer like that, because that's just not what I do. This is not part of my values. And so this person was just sitting there very strictly, and she told me, she just shared my screen. She didn't let me speak the whole time. From the beginning, she just told me, this was the results, let's go through your results. This was the percentage of this was the percentage of this. Do you agree with this? I was like, I don't know, it's a test result. I did find the result, the test on the motivation kind of strength. So it was supposed to say, how do I get motivated to work? And for me, things are not black and white. Like I cannot say always this or that. It just depends so much on the situation. It's feels complex. So the Gallup personality test, that one was really good. This was actually quite insightful. So actually what was very nice that they paid actually for the test for you. So that's nice that you get quite complex results. But the motivation test, and they were actually deciding on the motivation test, whether you are the match or not. And actually, I'm not right now, maybe I'm not saying the number correctly, but I think they wanted 70% match and maybe I was like 40% match for the job. And I'm like looking at it at the end. So she just told me you are 40% match, so this is the last conversation we had. And I'm like, okay, can you just actually describe me what's the job? And the job was basically she just wanted to, the part would be that I would be just redoing some people's CV, and it almost felt like administration job, like no, it felt like no real help to the people, no real added value. And the moment she said it, in my mind was like, why was that not written in the job description? But then I was like, oh yeah, definitely I'm not a match for that. This is really not what I want to do. I like to dive deep with people. I want to help them, guide them to the journey where they're actually going to be fulfilled in life and fulfilled in career. This was the exact opposite of that. I would be extremely restricted in what I can actually do, which is okay because that's how they do their coaching, their career coaching. And I know a lot of people who would prefer their type of coaching over mine because they would maybe feel that I don't have certain systems behind me and so on. So it's totally fine. And everyone is working for, everyone has different values, right? So even when I actually, to be honest, to me, this was a stupid interview. This was the whole stupid interview process.
Hi, this is Marketa from the future. When I was editing this chapter, I realized that the big part of what I wanted to say about why you might find certain job interview questions stupid, I totally left it out of the story. So I'm gonna just like slide it in and I'm gonna continue with the rest of the video. Sorry about that. But what I wanted to say is that part that after all of these crazy tests, the only question that she asked me was, how would your past boss describe you? And I'm not kidding. I was like sitting on a call and I'm like, she cannot be serious. Like, what? And instead of actually thinking about like even what to answer, I was thinking, so the person who would be then my coach would be telling me how to coach people about their jobs. So the person I would be the most in touch with is gonna ask me like templated question. What the hell? Like I felt like there's so much wrong with that. Not because of her, we were very different. Not because of the question necessary, but because it's so much far from how I would work. And then clearly she would be, I don't want to necessarily say my boss, but kind of, she would be kind of responsible for what I would be doing. So if the person with this mindset would be then forcing me to do this the same way, it just felt so misaligned and so wrong. And to be honest, also to me, it falls under the same questions of all the previous questions, like what do you expect me to answer? And to be honest, I feel like this question is way worse than all the previous question we were discussing. Because what do you expect me to answer? Do you think I'm gonna tell you that my past boss would say that I'm lazy? Even if it would be true, do you feel like I would tell you that? Like and the other questions, maybe you can still come up with a way how, I don't know, maybe you can somehow test the people if they're not aware, but do you literally think that I would tell you that somebody else would say about me that I don't work well? That to me really felt so strange. But again, just to come back to it, the biggest part of it, I would be working directly with this person who clearly is asking questions like that. Okay, come back to the rest.
But that's when again, coming back to what I mean with stupid job interview question is that if at the beginning, if I knew that this is what they meant with all of that, we could have saved each other time, even though right now I have a good story to share. But it felt based on my values and how I like to develop my work, because actually one of my values is really being of service, and I love to dive deep with people. And if somebody is there to only touch the surface level, it's very difficult for me to actually deliver a good job. I don't feel like I'm that type of person for that. And so again, that raised immediately like, whoa, this was kind of stupid. And now I would like to say two things to that. If you are in this situation, I want you to ask this. Did this person who gave you this stupid question that you might be considering stupid in the moment, for the job, for whatever reason, is this the type of person that is going to be directly influencing your work? There can be a lot of recruiters that you might find them that, or generally HR people, right? Whether it is HR or recruiter, that you might be thinking of like, why would they ask me this? They don't know anything about the job or whatever. It totally happened. Maybe I was sometimes that person, who knows, right? And in this moment, if you find that they ask you stupid question, then the question is, would you be directly working with this person? Do you mind that this person is representing the company in this stupid, what you consider a stupid way? Or is it for you just a person to go through, and then you, no matter how you feel about the person itself, you will never be in touch again with this person? And maybe then you want to see who is the hiring manager for the position, who would be your direct manager, who would be the person that you'll be directly working with. But maybe if you find out like, yeah, I'm not just going through that person, I would need to actively work with them. The same way as for me, the idea that I would be then actively working with this career coach and we would have to be aligned, for me, that felt horrible. Again, she felt nice as a person, but we have a totally different approach to work and we would be just butting heads. So this is the moment for you to realize, am I in the right place? And when you find yourself that this is a wrong place, be happy. Be happy, you have just saved yourself some time. You have just saved yourself and them all the energy that would have to be put behind getting you started, figuring all the other stuff. Just be grateful, because every time you get through experience, when you find out what you don't want, you get a little bit closer to understanding what you do want. And it's really like in life, right? You meet somebody who is really mean and you're gonna realize, I don't like to be meeting mean people. I want to be meeting nice people. And it's going to bring you a little bit to the different direction, to where you actually want to be. And then it might be in anything. It might be in the way, what is the messaging of the company online? Did I maybe understand it correctly? Did I ask the right questions at the beginning? It can be anything that in the future will save you time and will make you realize more what you actually stand for. It can again happen that maybe these were just stupid questions of a recruiter, and you might find your direct boss absolutely amazing. You would love the job and you just needed to pass this person. So whatever it is, I wish you so much good luck on your interview.